We're thrilled to make the official announcement today that Courtney Kupets Carter will become the new head coach of the women's gymnastics team at the University of Georgia. Courtney is a winner on and off the floor. She has excelled in virtually every phase of her young life on the biggest stages in international and national competition as a student athlete and as a United States Olympian. Courtney was a member of the 2003 USA World Championship team, which won the gold medal, and the 2004 US Olympic team, helping lead the United States to a silver medal. She was also awarded the bronze medal in the 2004 games on uneven bars. Courtney capped her career in 2009 in spectacular fashion, leading our Bulldogs to his 5th straight NCAA title and winning the all-around title as well. She received the Broderick Cup as the country's top female student athlete and the Sportswoman of the Year award from the Women's Sports Foundation. Recently, Courtney was recognized as the greatest collegiate gymnast in NCAA history and has also been recognized by United States Gymnastics as a member of the Hall of Fame. She earned an NCAA postgraduate scholarship in 2009 and was chosen as a Richard B. Russell Student Leadership Award winner, which is given to a Blue Key National Honor Society member who has demonstrated leadership and potential. She was also a first-team academic All-American on multiple occasions and a 2-time Honda Award winner. The list goes on and on. It is our goal to return to the elite level as a program, and it will take everyone pulling in the same direction, all on the same page, and supporting our program like never before. I'm confident our student athletes, prospective student athletes, and everyone associated with our gymnastics program will be energized to watch our program excel. I am confident that Courtney will provide the strong leadership, vision, and work ethic essential to achieve greatness. In closing, back in 1983, the University of Georgia hired a club coach to take on the challenge of leading our gymnastics program. Suzanne Yaglin-Liebern was 30 years old and at that time, and this was her first collegiate coaching experience. And we are well aware of the incredible success Suzanne brought to our program. Today, in many ways, history is repeating itself as we hire our new coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the University of Georgia Gym Dogs, Courtney Kupets Carter.
First off, I just want to thank President Moorhead for being here, and thank Greg McGarity in the athletic department for entrusting me with the Georgia Gymnastics Women's Program, because to me, it means so much. It's more than gymnastics. It's more than anything I had ever done, and I feel like it's a very special opportunity. I'm so thankful and grateful for this chance to show the passion that I had while I was a gymnast at Georgia, but now I get to have that passion as a head coach. And I cannot wait to instill that into the current and future gym dogs. The most important thing I learned as a gymnast here was that it built my character and it gave me a pride. And for me, that rewarding experience has stayed with me. And that's something I want the current athletes and future athletes to realize. Georgia is not just about your gymnastics. It's not just about going to a top university, one of the top academic institutions in the country to get your degree. And you can do that with doing one of the best sports that is out there. It's not just about that, but it's building you as a person for life. And I think that's most important in what I look to do as a head coach, is to put the athlete first, always, now and forever. It's about their life and what this can do for them as they move forward past gymnastics. I think one other thing that's really important to realize is that I am going to bring back the tradition of Georgia gymnastics. I think there are so many alums, if you guys are in here, know the passion of understanding Georgia did not start on top. It was built. And that started with Suzanne Jochen-Lieber, and that started with so many athletes coming here with the vision and the dream to make what Suzanne had first envisioned possible. And I know as an athlete, when I was competing on this team, that gave me even more drive, more adrenaline to not just do my gymnastics for me, not to do it for my team, not even just to do it for my university, but to do it for every past gym dog that had built the program to what I was getting to enjoy during those times. And that is what I want to continue. I want to make sure every athlete realizes it's not just about the gymnastics. It's not honestly about the academics. It's about what you're learning as a person. And I truly feel that with that, you can go further than you would ever thought possible. And so with that, as we move forward, the coaching staff is going to be a big part of how I feel can bring that vision to pass. It is very important for me to find a staff that complements my strengths but has different strengths, that we're on the same vision, that we can work together as a team for these athletes to give them the best opportunity to succeed and reach their full potential. So we're in the process of that, making sure I make those right decisions, but the one staff member I do have is our volunteer coach. And that might be a position you think would come last, you know? What pieces are you missing in your puzzle? Where can we add that in? Is it going to be a cheerleader? Is it going to be someone on a certain event coaching? Well, in this instance, it's very appropriate to name that volunteer coach first, because this volunteer coach can fill in wherever needed. And I am 100% confident in that, and that is Suzanne Jochen-Lieber. I am so thankful that she would come back and take the time and invest back in the program that she started. So it's going to be a monumental year, not only for the program, but for the athletes who get to experience little bits of what I got to experience out of Suzanne, which will be really, really exciting. And as we move forward, the last thing I want to say is that we cannot set our sights as a fan base, as a team, as a community, on what is now, where we are at now. We have to set those sights on what we want to accomplish. And I feel like if we can all collectively do that together, it's limitless. And I just would like to say, Georgia gymnastics will win championships again. Go Dogs.
Can you talk about just, when you left here, did you envision this as a possibility one day? And if not, when did this kind of start crossing your mind?
That's a very good question. And actually, the first time I remember ever thinking of it was in 2010. I was a student coach, and I realized I was made for this sport. And not just for the sport of gymnastics, but specifically college gymnastics. It's where I thrived as an athlete. I realized it was more, like I had said before, than just my athletics, because I actually improved as a gymnast, even though I had been to the Olympics. The environment set together with your teammates, working together, having the support daily, I think really just made me excited about that. And I want to be able to give athletes what I experienced. And so it started then. It's always been a thought, and it's amazing when this opportunity came about. First thing I thought was, my gut reaction, I could totally see myself bringing this program back to what I know it can be.
Courtney, what is your family situation right now? How do you intend on balancing that, certainly at the beginning?
Yeah, I am married, and I have a 17-month-old little girl who is testing patience right now, which is very exciting. So I guess that's a precursor for what's to come. But I'm also 7 months pregnant with a little boy, and honestly, it doesn't change anything. I think if anything, it just brings more experience to my position, because now as a mother, you learn a lot. And I think to be able to handle a group of girls, that will come into play a lot of the time. So I'll have the baby in a couple months and we'll go from there.
When did you first express interest or first were approached for this job, and how does your past experience give you, make you ready for this opportunity?
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, I know I have the knowledge about gymnastics. I have that college experience. I have the passion, the dedication, and the drive, and the love for the sport, and the love for the university. And I feel like more than anything else, those key factors coming together will help motivate, bring out the best in your athletes on the competition floor. Showing them that you care, showing them that you're going to let them take ownership and make choices, showing them that it's not necessarily just about their gymnastics. We want the best out of that, but it's out to you as a person. I think what that can do for an athlete is beyond anything you could do, get an experience about. That is something that's very hard to find, and I feel like I have that role, and I feel like I can motivate the athletes in that way.
You've been broadcasting for the last few years in the TV role, and you've seen countless amount of teams throughout the SEC. Are you going to try to take the strengths of all those teams, and do you see, when you're watching those, do you secretly coach in your head, like, this is what I would do, this is what I would do if I was the coach?
Honestly, yes. I mean, you can't not but watch a program and you have what you would do, what you think would be best. So yes, I thought those things. Whether they did that or not, it was, I kept my mouth shut. But at the same time, I have learned that there are traits and characteristics that you do with your team that might bring about good things and that might bring about bad things. To your point, yes, I think being with the network the past 3 years, just really analyzing coaches and the way athletes perform for them has been a big help.
Courtney, congratulations. Having Suzanne on board with you, I know it's got to be a great honor. I think anyone that's witnessed her leadership and her athletes under, it's very obvious it was a huge team concept, but also like a family mother concept with the dash of tough love. Talk about sort of how you hope to implement that, where, I mean, trying to reach national titles is not easy, and sometimes it requires being pretty strict on your girls.
And I think that's really important, and I actually got to talk to the current team before coming in here. We had a little conference chat to let them know that I was the new head coach, and that's one thing I actually already told them. I want to bring the love of gymnastics to them. I want to bring the passion. I said season starts now, but at the same time, it's not going to be easy, although it's going to be fun. And I think they all realize that as athletes. You realize you have to go through those hard moments to really enjoy the success you reach. If you don't have those challenges and you don't go through those peaks and valleys, I don't think you ever get to the top, because I don't think you truly know what it takes. So, no, there will be tough times, but I think having that open relationship is going to be the key. Building the trust with the athletes so that when you do have tough love, they know where it's coming from and it's not just being harsh.
What is the like the number one coaching trait that you want to take from like a Coach Glenn Hebron, and back a little bit when you were coach, when you were competing with Coach Clark and Coach McGavin?
I think from that coaching staff, what I'm going to take is how they worked so well together, and it wasn't necessarily because they all agreed all the time. There was some differences in how they thought to go about the situation, and I loved the fact that as a head coach, Suzanne could listen to all those different sides, but at the end of the day, that was going to be her decision. But it wasn't about my way all the time. I'm not listening. It was very open, and that's what I hope to bring with this coaching staff as well.
This program over the past few years has been, good, but not quite good enough to get, to where it once was. What is the biggest area that you see that you want to improve right off the bat to, get back over that hump?
Yes, we all have seen it's not been what it was. It's not been what it was during my time, and that's something we just start from day one. The intention is to make sure the program is set in place, that we build a gymnastics program for them to help them peak at the right time physically. We build a mental program for them to help them feel confident in themselves, but also feel confident in their teammates. I think that's a very important factor for athletes going up to compete. If you're going up there and your teammates don't trust in you, how are you going to stay on that beam when you're the only one trusting in yourself? I think that builds a lot when your team can rely on you in that way. So those 2 points are just the start of so many things we hope to bring, and that it's not just about one area. It's going to be about everyone coming together in so many different ways.
How has the landscape changed from when you were a gymnast winning national championships to the competition field now?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more talent in college, and whether that talent was there, they just weren't in college, I'm not sure, but it's very exciting, and I think it brings just more fun to the sport, whether you've got a couple teams trying to get that championships, and then you've got a couple teams coming up trying to beat you for it. And I think Georgia is going to be back in that contention, and they're going to be back on top, and that's what I can't wait to see.